Big Ten Media Day. Why we do this week is because Big Ten Media Day kicks off in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. I am interested. Joe is not going this year. He did go last year. I am interested to see the number of people that are and aren't going to the Big Ten Media Day this year, just because of how far of a trek it is. I know there were a lot of Penn State beat writers that would drive. Some of them would drive, and it's not as easy of a drive down to Las Vegas, obviously. That being said, I think where I want to go with this is kind of what are we expecting? What are three things? Let me read what I exactly asked you. What do we, Steve Samsel and Darian Summers, want to see out of Media Day? Could be Penn State, could be Big Ten, could be media related. What is your first thing, Steve?
My first thing or my third thing or my third?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't have a ranking to mind.
Okay. I have Vegas references. Some, schlocky stand-up, some, pun-filled whatever, some Vegas reference, and maybe more substantively a Vegas reference of why it's there, how it's working, right? Like, that kind of thing. Just so some scene setter from Vegas, whether it's the slot machines, whether it's the guys who have money now spending it out there somewhere, whether it's, I don't know, and is this working? You're doing this for the West Coast, for West Coast schools, ostensibly in their media. So is the contingent of West Coast media folks bigger now that you're at this than were last year? Just something that nods its head toward Vegas, I guess, would be on my list.
I am interested about that, and I actually didn't think about the whole West Coast of it all. Like, it is easier for that. Really just two of the schools to get out there now, I guess, and maybe it might be a little bit closer for Nebraska. All things considered, I went with, for my first thing, we always kind of see like this like moment where James Franklin like subtly, going back to Joe's point, Easter eggs, subtly announces how he's changed a little bit. Last year it was like, people expect us to win 11 games, and that's not good enough or something like that. Was like the first time. And it kind of felt like last year was like that 1-0 was starting to die. That would be kind of what I took away from last year's Media Day, and particularly with James Franklin. I am interested to see what James Franklin and how James Franklin has changed this season.
It's good. It's good. Well, and 1-0 got taken by LSU, right? Like Brian Kelly. Did you see that story last?
No, I missed that.
Last week at SEC. Yeah. Last week at SEC Media Days, they were talking about losing that first game, right? They play that first game, and they're always worried about the end thing and getting there at the end, and they stumble, but they play a tough team early on, and they've changed their mentality this year, and it's 1-0, and we've got to just focus on that. I'm like, oh, well, so I guess you should have franchised that or something.
Trademarked it at least.
Trademarked it, that's what I was looking for.
Number 2?
I'm going to change it a little bit, but give context. I'm going to add truth teller. Like, I want a truth teller to emerge. What I had was, for number 2, salary list /structure /story. Like, I always want to know about the money. Like, especially now, it's NIL, we've got the stuff going on. Somebody please tell me how these kids are getting paid. How often do they get paid? What's going on? Give me a real story. How do they spend their money? Are they saving their money? That is what I'd love to have, but I would settle for a truth teller to emerge from the Penn State beat in the Dave Jones mode. Like, to ask those kind of things that somebody else isn't going to ask or is going to pull a punch on.
I was thinking about that in particular, like, and I think with Eli Drinkwitz with the Mizzou coach, kind of went and had some like crazy borderline, gave me Mike Leach vibes. Actually, I guess would be the best way to say that. And who I feel like we always get that from? Brett Bielema. I bet we'll get it from Brett Bielema.
Yeah.
And I think I appreciate that. Like, I think there's an honesty to that it takes, that like, they don't have anything to really sell us. They just kind of want to like be upfront about it. And I appreciate that as a
My
fan.
fourth one would have been a Brett Bielema moment. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just expecting him, of all the coaches, he's the one I would expect to like own something, to plant a stake in the ground, to do something, to make a comment that raises some eyebrows, just for kicks.
Yeah. And I'm sure that we will get something from him. Because I don't know that there's another Big Ten coach that has that level of personality. I'm trying to think. No,
Matt Rule, maybe. I don't know. Matt Rule did some recruiting stuff this summer, but no, I mean, the only one that's proven in that setting, in the media, and Penn State, got to make hay out of it with, whiteout, whatever last stuff here in the whiteout, the fake whiteout thing. And that's fun. Like, I mean, it's not as fun when he's not winning, but it's fun when he's winning and you get to root against him and his team. So good for him.
Yeah, that was. I had thought about that.
Whiteout energy. Sorry.
Who's the third team going to be? Like, I think that's a good question. Like, who's 3 and 4 in the Big Ten? I think.
Yep.
I think Oregon was on the was at the 3 for the Cleveland.com media poll, and then 4 was Illinois. So I think that's an interesting like X's and O's to it. From the Penn State perspective, I am interested to see who the it player is, if you will. So last few years, like we've had Abdul Carter, we've had to a degree Tyler Warren, even if he wasn't like the most like not media verse, I don't think is the right word, but just like wasn't a superstar with the media per se. Like, who is the player that the Penn State beat is going to be talking about? Is it going to be Drew? Is it going to be Nick? Is it going to be Katron? Is it going to be DDS? Like, I think that's a fascinating storyline, kind of as we're looking for storylines as we get going here into like preseason type stuff. Because like there are leaders on this team, but I don't know if I can put my thumb on a preseason leader, if that makes sense.
No, and I think this is. I mean, you know who the candidates are because the kids who traveled this week, right? Somebody's going to probably emerge, maybe out of their media day, that's going to flash a little personality and do something and be the face of some things somewhere along the line. And it will be interesting to see who that is. Plus, they've got to do some stuff on the field to warrant being talked to. Then,
no, and I think that was. And I think that was kind of what was interesting about Tyler Warren was like, we kind of forgot about Tyler Warren in the preseason last year. And then he happens to quite literally have like a Heisman candidacy campaign. And like, there are those expectations. I think it's fair to say on 2 players that at Penn State, like, I think it's reasonable to think that Drew Aller has Heisman expectations. And I think it's reasonable to say that Nicholas Singleton has them. And I don't know. I think you could make 2.5 with Katron too.
I was going to ask everybody. I mean, whenever you do that single term, it's like, what about Allen? So
no, yeah. So I think that's interesting. Number 3.
I'm looking for Penn State to actually embrace its role as a favorite, right? Like, you talked last year about Franklin. Oh, we're expected to win this, and that's not. I'm just at some point, right? You're your preseason top 5 at worst, maybe top 3, maybe number 1 in the conference, maybe number 1 nationally. We are Penn State. This is what we are. We understand the expectations. We're ready to go after it, right? I don't want to hear Scotty Scheffler. Oh, God, it's, tough to win and it's hard. Oh, we win and people don't like us. Oh, some kid in the student section saying I'm a bad dude. Don't want any of that. I just want them to embrace the role as a favorite. Go ahead. I think that would be neat. I know it's not going to happen, but that would be neat.
That is the most intriguing thing to me about this entire next month and a half is like the second the AP poll comes out, like, I mean, I picked up my Lindy's college football magazine. I forgot to bring it up here tonight. Number 2, Penn State. Like there's very legitimate expectations. I think that's the most interesting thing, and I think that's the most fascinating thing about this season as we sit here now. I can't remember. I can barely remember, I guess I should say, the last time that Penn State had this level of expectations going to the season, which would be 99. Right, like with the LeVar Arrington Sports Illustrated cover, and that in particular has been playing and rattling around in my head the most, and I think will be something we explore and talk about a little bit more as we get closer.
What's your number
1? Number 1 or number 3, depending on how you look at it. I the Fox to all of this. So between the Portnoy thing, I think that's interesting. We might be maybe eventually getting a direct to consumer or some sort of streaming play. And how does that, like, how does Fox kind of like incorporate and continue to ingrain itself in Big Ten culture? I think I'm interested to see how that plays out. And going back to your earlier point, particularly as we move out of Big Ten country, because Vegas is not Big Ten country. Like, Indy is the heart of Big Ten country. The Big Ten and Indianapolis are very synonymous. Maybe Chicago being the other city in my head. Vegas is not, but can Fox find a way to embrace that?
But this is the most perfect Vegas barstool city there is, right?
Correct.
I mean,
Nashville.
Okay, yeah. But if you're going to change, that's in the middle of SEC and ACC
That's
country,
true.
right? Vegas is, no man's land in terms of rules and whatever else. So this is the perfect time for that to pop up. So yes, they have to be there. That circus has to start rolling around this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good call.
What are they doing to make a buzz? Okay. Yeah, that's about it.